Here's a question that will give you an opportunity to address what is a current issue. Hello, Uncle P and Minister Sillah. Minister Sillah's denial of the audit report from his ministry is a big surprise. The audit department is a government institution. I believe its report is expected to be credible, but Sillah's denial has debunked that. It's a pity. Where did you deny this, and what did you have to say about this?
We issued a press release. Unfortunately, maybe it hasn't reached you.
No, it hasn't.
Okay.
We just saw the headline in the papers this morning.
Oh, okay. Which of the papers? I've not read any of the papers this morning.
I can't remember.
No, actually,
but this is an opportunity for you to address, because these audit reports are, sections of it are making the rounds, and you are supposed to have a $377 million you're supposed to account for.
Yeah, exactly. And let me say this, Peter, because the role of any audit is to help the auditee to do first account for what you have been implementing using public funds or institution funds, to also transparently explain how you've spent those funds, and also to accountably ensure that every butut of that money has been explained, including process audits that might have taken place. And we value the work of the Auditor General in that, because it is not only meant to help the likes of Madi Jobate to be howling on the government. My man, howling on the government every day, but also to help us understand where we've gone wrong, what we can do better in ensuring that public funds are, properly managed. Now, that notwithstanding, and we have to admit that even with the best of intentions, certain things can go wrong. Now, the key word here is discrepancy. And this is a very powerful term in auditing. If you say that we have given you $1 million, but 377,000 of that has gone unaccounted for, we cannot understand where you have put those money in. How did that money was spent? And who did you spend it on? And as a result, we did not see value for money for it. Maybe it has been used in the wrong way, or it has gone in the wrong hands. That's the word discrepancy. That is a very powerful word in auditing. So when this report was issued, I took it upon myself to read not only my ministry, I am an avid reader. I read over and over and over the audit reports of 2021, 2022, and 2023. Issues that were mentioned about my ministry, I paid particular and critical attention to them. And because I remember that when we were tasked to respond to some of those audit queries, I gathered my team myself, and then we provide copious details of the answers. Now, I was really surprised to see that what was first queried as discrepancy was still in the actual report, in the final report, even though we've provided the details. And what we provided, two things can happen here. Either the time it was provided, the auditors considered it as late because they've already compiled their report, or it was not material enough because they were supposed to deliver their report, because most of these things can be time bound. But that must not really mean that there was a discrepancy. That is why I came out to use two keywords, and I think that is what is making some of our critics unsettled. I said is grossly grossly something grossly and patently false. Grossly misleading and patently false. And I use those two keywords. I personally wrote that press release. I don't have to hide about it. I wrote it because I believe in what I was writing. We signed a contract in 2020 to do 38 kilometers of roads in the Sabah Sanjal area. That's what we call the North Bank region roads. But later, well into the implementation of the project, further communities came up, and evidence was shown that we needed to create a loop to ensure that we cover all those communities once and for all, so that the contractor that was mobilized there would not have to go out and then you come in again and pay a mobilization cost. So we added 16.5 kilometers extra to the project, and we prepared an addendum called Addendum Number 1. This Addendum Number 1 was already costed from the main project cost, different from the main project cost. And then that was the result of the 377 million plus the cost of other charges that came in because at the time when we signed the contract and when the addendum came in was nearly 1.5 years. So of course, when you are doing this type of projects, you will expect that price escalation will kick in, as I explained at the beginning of the program. I was really shocked and surprised that this basic fact was not taken into consideration when the audit report was finalized. I don't want to fault anybody here, because that is not my nature. But I can tell you that, Peter, $377 million is a lot of money to disappear. And if this was going to be a very good audit job, man, I would have expected that the auditor could have even sent some of his people to verify on the ground whether the entire money was spent on only 38 kilometers. I think we need a lot of improvement in our processes. To audit does not necessarily mean that it's a Bible or it's a Quran. They too can have it wrong. And that is why we came out to say that what is been trending in the media and replicated in social media is false, grossly false, and does not represent the facts and evidences that we have. What is wrong with that? You know that there are people in this country who don't want us to be talking about this audit report because they think that we are all guilty as charged. That, they should be having field day all over.
Who are these people?
Well, of course, your usual Mahdi Jabati. No, I cannot, for him, I cannot just leave him alone.